Hey everyone, what's going on? It's been a minute, so I wanted to give you guys a quick dad update. If you didn't watch the last dad update video, then I'll give you a quick little rundown on what happened. So basically, I believe it was May 24th, he fell and broke his arm, and he went to the ER, spent a few days there, and whatever they were doing to treat the arm ended up pushing his kidneys from stage 4 failure into stage 5, which is the end stage. So then he needed to go to the ICU, and they put a port in his neck for emergency dialysis, and they were doing dialysis daily. He stayed there in the ICU about 3-4 days, and then they moved him to a regular room once he was more stable, and they took the port out of his neck and put a permanent one in his chest, since they can't do one anymore in his arm because he broke it. So he's got a permanent port in his chest. He stayed in the regular room for about a week, and then they transferred him to another floor where they could do physical therapy and rehab, trying to get him up and walking and stuff like that. He stayed in rehab for about 10 days probably, and then we were able to bring him home. And he was home for about 3 weeks. Things were going good. He was doing dialysis every other day, and home nurses would come check on him on the days in between that he didn't have dialysis. So the 3 weeks that he's been home, it's really been an adjustment period, not just for him, but for the rest of us in the family too, trying to just see what he's able and not able to do anymore, where he's going to need more help, how we're going to get him in and out, up and down, things like that. So far he has been walking with the walker, but it's the one that has wheels and like a seat, so if he needs to just stop and sit, he can. He's been using that. We put a railing going down the main hallway, so he has something to grab onto the entire way from the bedroom to the living room. We've given him a hospital bed. He had a rental for like a week, and then he got the permanent one that he purchased. So that's really helpful in getting him in and out of bed, because the whole bed can raise up and down, and then also the head and the feet can go up and down. So that's really helpful, because obviously, you know, you can't just be like, all right, give me your hand, let me pull you up out of bed, because he's got one broken arm and one bad shoulder. So finding ways to get him up and down and lifting him, it's been a challenge so far. He also has a chair in the living room that he sits in that can raise the whole thing up, so it's easy to get him to a standing position from that. And then also like sitting down in it, because he can go from standing to just barely sitting, and then we just lower him down the rest of the way, so it's not such a big gap of space between getting up and down, so that's very helpful. So we've made several improvements on the inside of the house, and my parents are talking about getting a ramp outside for the front door so we can just wheel him up in the wheelchair. And I think they're just kind of going back and forth with the VA right now, whether or not they're going to pay for it or not. And if not, then my parents will just have to buy one and we'll have to install it. But it's just been a learning process the past few weeks, trying to figure out how to go forward from here. And he's been doing dialysis now every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He goes in the mornings, and things were going good, but the past couple times that he's been leaving early because he didn't feel well. And we thought that it was just because he wasn't like hydrating enough the day before, because dialysis, you got to be hydrated because it pulls the fluids out of you and stuff, but you also need to be hydrated so that it can clean your blood properly. And he hadn't been very hydrated at all, so we thought that was it. Let's see, Monday the 10th, I believe, he left a little bit early because they said they were talking to him, and then all of a sudden he like became unresponsive and like just unresponsive, and he looked very pale. And again, they thought it was just a dehydration, so they let him go home early. And then the next Wednesday, the July 12th, he left early again. He was only at dialysis for like an hour, maybe not even an hour. And they said he was very pale and feeling very sick. And they said, you know what, don't mess around. Just take him straight to the ER, because it could be something with his heart. It could be a painless heart attack. It could be anything. So they said, don't mess around, take him to the ER. So today is the 16th now, Sunday the 16th. So last Wednesday the 12th, he went to the ER and he got admitted, and he's still there now. And they've been continuing the dialysis, giving him hydrating and everything, and now it turns out that he has a 2-inch gallstone, which seems to be what was making him throw up and feel nauseous all the time. But unfortunately, he is not a good candidate for surgery. He is too much of a risk, so they can't just go in and get the stone out, or remove the gallbladder for that matter, because surgery would be too risky. So they are giving him antibiotics right now, and he was supposed to be discharged yesterday, but he's still there today, and I haven't heard anything from my mom yet today, but he hasn't really been eating very much in the hospital. He doesn't like the hospital food. I mean, no one does. It's the point is like not to be a 5-star hotel. It's to get you to want to get better and get the hell out of there and go home. And the doctor today told my mom to make some mac and cheese and bring it in for him, because I don't know if he's just refusing to eat or what, but they just moved him to another room today, so obviously he's not going to be discharged today, but hopefully very soon, because my parents have been planning to do a little traveling, and it's coming up very, very quickly. And he was cleared already by the VA, his primary care, to fly, and we've been trying to plan everything to get, you know, wheelchair, oxygen, anything he needs, dialysis when he gets to where he's traveling to. Things have been already set up, so right now the travel plans are still in place, and obviously I'm going to tag along to help care for my dad, because it would be impossible with just him and my mom going. So hopefully he will come home soon, and that we'll still be able to do this trip. It's a very important trip for him, and obviously I'll take you guys along with me when we go, if we go. But yeah, it's a very important trip for him, and he's really looking forward to it, and that's like one of the last things that's he's holding on to, keeping him around and something to look forward to. So hopefully these antibiotics work for the gallstone and get him, you know, somewhat normal again, and we'll be able to travel. So that's all of an update I have for you for now. Hopefully one of the next vlogs you see will be him out of the hospital, doing great, and we'll be all doing some traveling. Hopefully that will work out. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and thank you for keeping me and my dad in your thoughts. I appreciate it, and I feel all the love. And yeah, hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon.